Sorry about the lighting. The sun is really not playing nice this morning. This trailhead is very close to the highway, and only the last little bit of the road is unpaved. The unpaved section took us less than 5 minutes. There's a small parking area at the actual trailhead, and a bunch of little nooks along the side of the road nearby. There are also a few camping spots tucked into the woods, including one right next to where we parked, that was so tucked away we almost parked in front of its driveway. This first section seems somewhat out of place compared to the rest of the trail. It is lovely but brief, so enjoy it. Just across the bridge, your climb starts. I felt this hike even be dirty-faced for having something to look at for virtually the entire climb. Even when we're in the trees, there are rock faces peeking through above us and wildflowers below us, with a glimpse of blue water from time to time. And sometimes much more than a glimpse. Google has a spot labeled as the Miles Overlook, and on a good day, you can see all the way to the top of Rainier. Even on a cloudy day, the view is quite nice. Catch your breath and savor the view, because from here on up, you'll need to pay quite a bit more attention to your feet. This trail gives you a little breather now and then, but most of the rest of it was this steep, hard, crumbly terrain. I highly recommend hiking poles to help you get a better purchase on the way up and down. Even with them, I felt the descent more than usual on this one. There are plenty of arguments for and against hiking poles, but I learned a new one this week. Studies show that using them actually burns about 20% more calories than hiking without using them. This seems totally counterintuitive to me, since hiking tends to feel easier when using them. But by activating more muscle groups, they do. You might find this to be an amazing way to justify that post-hike meal, or a pain because that means you need to carry even more food on the backpacking trip. Either way, I love how they usually keep me upright and cure the stiff sausage fingers I get after a long day of hiking. You can find links below to a podcast about the medical studies and resources for this trail. It was pretty cool to see little wisps of mist drifting around up here, like lost souls. For much of the hike today, it felt like we were walking between worlds, with sunshine on one side of the mountain and a storm on the other. We experienced just about every season, and while we didn't exactly get snowed on, we still experienced it. Whoever would have thought we would be getting hit with snow bombs falling from the trees halfway through June? Overnight it had been just cold enough to snow up here, and now the sun was sending it down all around us. The tinkling of it coming down through the trees sounded kind of pretty. This hike was on Father's Day, and one of the men who helped raise me was my grandfather. He was never a hiker, but he loved his daily walks and being out by the water. I'm sure he would have loved this lake. He had a quiet contentment when he was outside and a real gift for savoring the small things. Every morning he would start his day with the same cup of coffee, take a sip, and go, that's the best cup of coffee. It often isn't easy, but I feel like we all could live a little better trying to emulate that attitude. Even up on the ridge, this trail continues to dip in and out of the trees, so there's both a lot of sun and a decent amount of shade breaks, but apart from the swiftly fading snow, no water. The climb might get hot, but it's hard to be too grumpy when you're on a flower stairmaster. The summit winds cooled us off in a hurry, and after a quick lunch, we were grateful for some cardio to warm us back up. In the trees, the snow had completely liquefied and was now coming down as shimmering curtains of water. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. There are hiking resources below and information on free ways to help support this channel. The easiest is liking and subscribing. Thank you. Happy exploring.